Okay, so we continue with our full stack API courses. So now I'm gonna npm run server, okay, and it's gonna send me to port 5000. So since this is the port that we established here, so if I go into my localhost port 5000, I have full stack API courses, okay. So this is exactly what we have here, or you can just put in full stack API project, so whatever you want to name it or whatever you want to put it here, and I just save it. So we go over here and we need to refresh it. Okay, so full stack API project courses, that's fine. I open Postman, so I'm gonna let you the link for you to download it. So in a previous video I show you how to download, install it, all the stuff. So I have in the get method, and here I have the link, the URL. So I have http://localhost/5000. so this is that port, and let me see, there are no, okay, so I am in the test results, so I need to go into the body, and I have here full stack API project courses, and I have 200. Okay, so this is a request successful, the server has responded as required. Okay, everything looks fine. And what else? So we need we need the .env. Okay, so what we are gonna do is we're gonna have this one, the .env. So it's a zero dependency module that loads environment variables from a .env file into the process.env. Okay, so we have the const .env, we require .env, and then we have the .config. So we have this method. Okay, so if we go here, as early as possible in your application, we import it and we configure the .env. So we have require, open parentheses, inside single quotes, .env, outside of that, .config. So this is a method. Okay, and this is from the npm .env. Okay, so this is a dependency module that loads environment variables from a .env file into the process.env. Okay, so the process.env property returns an object containing the user environment, and this is from the Node.js and the npm. Okay, so if we go right here, we have already configured it, and if you go into dependencies, we already make sure that you already have it installed. So we have the .env dependency. Okay, that's fine. Let's save it. The previous video we followed this example that they gave us, this basic example that they gave us from ExpressJS. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, we need to, inside of the in the root, not in the backend, we need to go outside of the backend and in the root. So we're gonna have .env. So this is the whole purpose, we are calling .env. So here in this file .env, we're gonna have in the node, so we're gonna have environment variables, node underscore env, and we are gonna set it to let me see, we can set it to development since we are still on the process, or you can once you are done with it, you can just set it to the production. Okay, so never mind that one. Let me see, what is this? Never mind. So this is the autopilot. So let me see, let me just move like that. Okay, so yeah, this autopilot sometimes gets annoying. So now we need the port, and the port I'm setting it to 5000. That's fine, never mind that one. So we have the node underscore env and the port. So but the port right now here is 5000, so let's change it here to 5500, because we're gonna do something like check for this port, and if you don't find it, so let's go to this next port. Okay, so that is in the English language. So Express, what we do is we use the process.env, so process.env, and let me see, we need the, what is that? So yeah, or okay, so we have let me see if it doesn't matter, like that port. Okay, so like that, since that is how we have it over here. So we have the port, so process.env that port. If we don't find it here, we're gonna find it in local in localhost 5500. Okay, so let me see, we are in 5000, and let me see, yeah, we find it in 5000. Okay, so it's in 5000, it's not in, let me see, localhost, no, you cannot find it, so we are in localhost 5000, and we can change it. For example, we can put it 5000 here and move into the port right here and the .env file. And now if we go right here, this one is gonna be wrong, but if we go to localhost 5500, then let me see, oops, yeah, once we introduce this file, that .env file, save it, we need to restart the server. Okay, so every time we change or we add more environment variables, so we need npm run server, and now we're gonna go into what it was, 5000. Okay, so if we go into localhost 5000 now, as you can see, now it's working. Okay, so let me move it to 5000 here, save it, and here we just let it to 5500. And again, since we change the environment variables in the .env file, we need to restart the server. Okay, so I'm doing it in my Windows with Ctrl+C, so npm run server, and now I need to go into localhost 5000. Okay, and it's working properly. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so we have added this environment variable, so we have the node underscore env, we have the port, that's fine. So if we go into localhost, yeah, I already show you this, we have the get method right now. So we can close this one, and now we have, let me close here, so we have this app.get, so this is a get method, and we have the slash here, so request response, and then we have we are sending this string full stack API project course, so we already have it here, and we also have a full stack API courses. Okay, so what we want to do is we have the slash API, and then we are gonna have in courses. Okay, so this is our project, so slash API slash courses, this is gonna be our endpoint. So we have the rest that's in full stack, so yeah, that's fine. And this one should be JSON, and let me see here, we need to go curly braces, and we're gonna have a message, and now we're gonna have let me see, and we can put in API courses, full stack. Okay, like that, save it. Let me see, so we have the app.get, we have this endpoint request response, and then we have the rest.json. We open parentheses, we open curly braces, we have, this is the key, the message, and this is the value. The value is gonna be this string characters, API courses full stack. Okay, so we have that so far. If we go right here, obviously it's not gonna work because we need to add API/courses. And let me see, let's send it, and now we get the key, that is the message, and then we also get the value. Okay, so the message and then the value is gonna be this string of characters. So API courses full stack 200. Okay, this is a request successful. Okay, the server has responded as required. That's fine so far. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So as you can see here, we get a green check, so it's a 200 response, but we can put it right here, and we can put in, let me see, set 200. Okay, and no, not like that. So before that, what I'm doing, so we can go right here, let me put another that, and now we need a status, and we are putting the status that is going to be 200. Okay, as you can see here, this is the status. So let's send it again, and everything is fine. So we have the res, well, the response that is status 200, that JSON, the message. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so yeah, we can yeah, now in the backend, and we're gonna create a new folder. Okay, so because we're gonna have a bunch of get method, post method, and we are gonna have our routes here. Okay, so in here in this route we're gonna have course. Okay, course route. Okay, course route.js. Okay, so we have that course route.js, or let me modify it, so maybe course routes. Okay, yeah, because we're gonna get all of our routes for, let me see, for the API courses. Okay, so we can, okay, so first of all, we're gonna be using the express.router, and with parentheses, and in the parentheses you can have some options, but first of all we are gonna go into this course routes, and we're gonna call in express. So express, and then yeah, pretty much I'm gonna tab it, that's fine, and already does it for me. But okay, so we have the first line, we are calling express, require express, and then in the second line we have, let me put it right here, oops, cons, let me see, comes, we're gonna follow this, comes router, express.router, and then open parentheses, comes router and express.router. Okay, so let me move it like that, save it, and we don't need this semicolon at the end since we are not working with Java. Okay, so we have the express, we have the router, so express.router, that's fine. And let me check, yeah, I already did. Don't forget to add this method to the .env. Okay, so I don't have to add any method here. Here you would have the options, whatever options, for example, that will go here. Right now we can, first of all, we can export it. So this is module, yeah, that export. So before you forgot, so we module that exports and set it to the router. Okay, so now we can go right here below and we can just cut it. Okay, so we can just cut this and save it, and we can go right here and paste it. Okay, but instead of app, we're not gonna using app, we're gonna using router. Okay, so we're gonna using router. Okay, so why we are using here in the server, we were using app because we are having this, we are initializing app, we're initializing this variable app to express, but here we are using router. Okay, so we have the router that get, and what we can do right now is, once we hit the localhost 5000, let me close here. Okay, we can just leave it like that, but we can go back to the server and we are gonna have the app.use. Okay, so we're gonna have the app.use, and no, it's not, oops, the app.use in single quotes, we are gonna have a slash, and we're gonna have the API slash courses. Okay, so we're gonna have the API slash courses as a first argument, and as a second argument we're gonna require the file. Let me see, and automatically does it for me. Okay, so the first argument is gonna be this endpoint API slash courses. The second argument we're gonna require, we are requiring the file that is in slash routes. Okay, and it's gonna be inside of the, well, see, that is the, yeah, for example, automatically the autopilot did it in courses, but the file name is not courses, it's course route. So that is yeah, well, so keep an eye for auto completion, so sometimes it mess it up. So now it's gonna be inside of this file, the course routes. Okay, the course routes, and if we hit API slash courses, it's gonna look into this file, and it's gonna send us right here to this file. And right now what I'm gonna do right here, I'm just gonna have a slash. Okay, so let me see if this is working. So we can use the browser, or we can use just the, yeah, let's use Postman again. So we are in the localhost API courses, let's send it. Let me see, yeah, we have a 200 okay response, that's fine. Let me see, let me modify it. So API courses full stack, API courses full, API courses project backend. So this is the, we are dealing with the backend so far, but this is gonna be a full stack game, full stack project. So I save it. So let me see, let's send it, and as you can see we have the API courses project backend, and